All right. So tonight was the go home show for SmackDown. And tonight we're going to cover exactly what happened on SmackDown. So tonight, SmackDown, we start out with main event Jey Uso, right? And as soon as I tuned in, I said, am I watching Raw? Is this like a rerun of Raw? Is this like a rerun of Raw? Turns out, no, Jey Uso was standing literally in the ring on SmackDown. Comes out, everybody's yeeting, yeet, yeet, yeet. And, he starts to cut his little promo. And then I think he gets interrupted by LA Knight. And we have a cool little face off between these two. These two have their glasses on. It's kind of like the battle of the glasses. And eventually they take off their glasses. And they start staring at each other. And then comes out the entirety of the whole men's Money in the Bank match. You had Andrade, you had Chad Gable, Drew McIntyre, Carmelo Hayes, and everybody's just cutting promos on everybody. It just kind of sort of reminded me of like the promos they used to have a couple years ago when everybody would be on the ladders for some reason. Pretty stupid when they would be on the ladders, but all these guys were here tonight, and Drew McIntyre comes out and with the line of the night just kind of glances over at Jey Uso. He starts bad mouthing everybody, but in particular there's one line where he says to Jey Uso, like, how did you actually get into this country? Because they're in Canada, and due to Jay's background and whatnot, he was kind of poking fun at the fact that it might have been a little tricky for him at first to get into Canada. But eventually, this turns into a brawl, as it always does. Everybody's turning on everybody. At the end, we get Jey Uso and LA Knight standing tall. And the rumor going around now is due to the fact that these two guys were standing tall at the end of the match, or at the end of the segment, it kind of made people think like, okay, these two guys are probably not winning it then, because why would they stand tall here today and then tomorrow night? It kind of wouldn't fit. So now the popular consensus is either Drew McIntyre or Chad Gable as the Money in the Bank holder, and I'm sort of leaning more towards Drew McIntyre at this point. Drew McIntyre has more of a, I guess, bigger impact. I mean, I still would like Chad Gable to, have this Money in the Bank run. He could really use it. Either one of these two guys, it's going to be great, because there's like a whole different amount of ways it can go with this. So yeah, this match tomorrow will be one to definitely watch out for. And later on in the show, we got Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Cody Rhodes come out. They come out as a trio. Cody Rhodes just kind of goes in, says his whole, his regular, so what do you want to talk about, etc. Randy Orton, he's hyped. Kevin Owens comes out. Kevin Owens says, listen, I've been fighting the Bloodline for 4 years, but I want to talk more about the last 4 days for me, because the last 4 days for me have been some of the toughest days for him. And he says that his mother on Monday morning was hospitalized, and his father called him on Monday morning to tell him that news. And for the past 5 days, he's been, tending to his mother. And he says, I could have easily just stayed home tonight, but that's not what my mother would want. She would want me to be here, and if she found out that I missed a show because of her, she would be pissed, and she wants me to end this thing with the Bloodline, to put them out of their misery, to kick their ass essentially. And we get all these three guys hyped, and they're hyped into tomorrow's match. But yeah, obviously, man, prayers to Kevin Owens' mother, man. That's got to be something difficult to even process, to even kind of to be mentally that strong, to be able to perform still and everything. So hope his mother gets well, and just wishing them the best wishes. But yeah, tomorrow, man, this match is gonna be fire. We're gonna see what happens tomorrow. And before this show ended, man, we had a great tag team match. DIY is now the tag team champions, and they're kind of furthering the Austin Theory babyface turn. But after that, we had something that kind of ties into everything here. Solo Sikoa, they got a little video package. Solo Sikoa is in the back with the 3 members of the new bloodline, kind of like a video package, and Solo Sikoa reveals Olufala, reveals what it is, why it's important to his family. He basically says, I'm the tribal chief, not because I want to be, but because I have to be. He basically says, I have to be the tribal chief because Roman Reigns couldn't defend our title at WrestleMania successfully against Cody Rhodes. So I now forcefully have to become the tribal chief. He says tomorrow night he is going to make an example out of Cody Rhodes, and then he's going to take back the WWE Championship. And he says at the end, if Roman Reigns has a problem with this, if he wants his title back, then he's going to have to go and take it from me, And then Jacob Fatu, the Enforcer, takes the Ulafala, lays it around Solo's neck, and that's how we go off the air. Tonight, man, really great SmackDown. Go home SmackDown here tonight. I thought the tag team match was great. I thought the segment at the end was great. The segment at the beginning of the show hyped up the ladder match for tomorrow night. But yeah, we're just kind of, these 24 hours before Money in the Bank. And we will see what happens tomorrow night. So other than that, man, I am out. Have a good night, and we'll see y'all back here tomorrow.